Welcome to your motorhome with 3 persons. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough through the car to show you how to operate it. First of all, this is where you fill up the diesel. You open it up with your finger and then use the big key, the same as the ignition, to open up the cap. In here you have the driver's seat and the passenger seat. You have the handbrake on the left side. That's the only difference between this and a normal car. You have it on the left side, but the handbrake works like a normal handbrake. The lights are mandatory in Iceland, and you have to turn them on every time you drive, day and night. And they are switched on with this flick of a switch over here. So be careful that you turn it on before you drive, and obviously turn it off when you're not driving. This cap here, this is where you fill up your water. This is the drinking water for the sink and the shower, and you also use it to flush the toilet. You can fill this up on the campsites and on some of the gas stations in Iceland, and you simply put the hose in here, and when it starts spitting out water, it's full. Over here, this is the regulator for the heating. The heating uses propane to heat up the car, and this blows out the carbon dioxide and the warm air goes inside. So when you turn on the heater and it's taking a long time to get warm, you can always come out here and listen. If it's making an oohing sound, then everything is fine. Just give it some time. If it's not making any sound, there might be a failure. You might have to open the propane, or you can give us a call and we can advise. In here is your luggage storage. And this is where you find your spare tire or the punch and go system, depending on what is in the car. Also back here you find the cable for charging the vehicle on the campsite. It has an end like this that goes into the car, and then it has an end like this on the campsite, or this one. You just have to choose accordingly what to use. And we do recommend that every time you come to a campsite, you plug it in for charging, because the plugs inside the motorhome to charge your phones and laptops and whatnot, they only work when this is plugged in to electricity. Also, every time you leave a campsite, it's good to fill up the water and empty the toilet cassette. That I'll show you later. On the other side, you have another big door to the luggage storage. This is the plug for the cable to charge the car. And like I said, the plugs inside the motorhome, they only work when the cable is plugged in. And in here is the toilet cassette. This you have to empty before you come back. And to take the box out, you pull this leverage here up, take the box out, take this to the side, open it and dump it on the designated area. You can always empty this on the campsite, and like I said, we do recommend that you empty it every time you leave a campsite. Also down here is the grey water handle. It's simply a handle that you pull on, that one. You pull it out to open and push it in to close. And the grey water, that is the wastewater from the sink and the shower. It goes into a tank, and then you have to empty the tank. You empty this grey water tank in the same place where you empty the toilet cassette. Here in the front, this is where you have your propane tank. The propane tank is used to heat the vehicle, to heat the water, for the stove, and even for the refrigerator if you choose to. It's just a basic propane tank, and you have this open and close on the top. And before you try to use the heating of the car, of the water, of the stove, or the refrigerator, you have to open this tank, and you have to screw it all the way to open, not halfway, all the way to open, and then you can try to operate the systems inside. You can see on this car it has a safety button here. If there is no propane coming through, you simply hold this down while the valve is turned to open, and that lets the fumes come through. So make sure this is turned on. Yeah, if you run out of propane during a trip, Usually it's lasting people 4 or 5 days. If it runs out, you can take this one out into the next gas station, say that you need a new tank. They take this one, give you a full one, and you pay for the refill. And the best way to see the level of the propane is to shake the bottle, put your flashlight through one of the windows on the tank, and then you can see where the line wobbles. Simple as pie. Let's go inside. The first thing I want to show you is the control panel over here. In the middle you have the on and off button. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 switches for lights. This control panel basically controls all the electricity inside the motorhome. Like I said, 4 buttons for lights. I is for information. It shows you over here the water level. It's 0, 25, sorry, 50, 75, 100. This is the status on battery number 1 and battery number 2. This being 0, this being full. The auxiliary and the solar panels are not used, so don't use those. And this one is for the water pump, so if you want to use the sink or the shower or even flushing the toilet, you have to have this turned on. When you plug the car into electricity with a plug outside through the cable, this light here illuminates. If this doesn't illuminate, something is wrong. Check your connections, check the plug and all that. And this light here, this lights up if you need to empty the grey water tank. So keep an eye out for that. On this side here, you have the kitchen, a basic faucet over here, and this is the stove. And the stove you use just like a normal barbecue. You press the button down, turn it until you hear the rustle, and then you ignite it with a lighter. These are the plugs that I was talking about. These only work when the car is plugged in through the cable. And down below is the heating control. And the heating control needs propane, like the stove. You basically have 2 circles. The outer circle with the gray lines in it, controlling the fan speed from 1 to 5. And then the inner circle, the black one, controlling what you're heating. There is a small leverage in the black circle that shows you where you're located with the heating, and right now it's on 0. If I take it down once to the flame, that means I'm heating the car on the inside, and if I take it down 2 times, I'm heating the car on the inside, and I'm also heating the water to 60 degrees. Going back to 0, if I go upwards to 40 or 60, that means I'm only heating the water to either 40 degrees or 60 degrees. And then you can see the level illuminates here on the 5. And I can turn that down all the way to 1 if I like. The blinds in the car, they perfectly block out the sunlight. And to close them, you have to press these guys together before you try and drag them up. Don't try to drag them up like that, you'll break them. So push it together and then you can slide it up. Over here is the refrigerator, and the refrigerator can be made cold with 3 sources. It can be made cold with battery if the car is running, with a plug-in if the car is plugged in, or with a propane. To turn it on, it's the black button out here, and the screen illuminates, and you can see here it's on the propane source on level 5. And if I want to change it, I hold the gray button down until it only blinks on the source, on this source here. Blinks on the propane. I can use the arrows to go over to the battery or the plug-in. And let's say I want to confirm that I want to be on the battery. I press the gray button once, then I can control the level from 1 to 5, 5 being the coldest. And I want it on level 3, for example. Press the gray button once to confirm. And right now it's blinking on the screen because the car is not running, so it doesn't work. In this case, I would have to have it on the propane. And if I do that, I can show you. Take it over to propane, confirm, confirm. Then it tries to ignite, and then the screen turns off, and there is a green light on the power button. That means it's working. So if it's blinking, something is wrong. If it's off and the green light is on, everything's good. Here behind me, or on my right side, is the toilet. And this toilet works like a normal toilet. The only difference is that you have this handle on the bottom of it to open and close. This handle basically opens the toilet cassette that I showed you on the outside. And before you use the toilet, you have to open it, and then when you're done, you have to close it. If you fail to open it before you use it, then you will pee or whatever you do on top of the box. It will start leaking and it will come inside, and it's not nice. So be careful that you open it and close it when you're done. And this blue button here is to flush it. And then in here, like through the toilet, is the shower as well, over there. And you have to heat the water up for that. It takes about 15-20 minutes for one warm shower. This door over here goes into your luggage storage. So if you have your luggage there, you can go through the car, don't have to go outside. The double bed is over here, and then you can make the third bed with a kitchen table. This here is the kitchen set. You get this with the car. You can put them in the drawers or have them here in the box, whatever you like. Yeah, and please take care of the box, bring that back. If you want to make the third bed, you would have to take this up, and then you switch this like that, take the bed off, and you hang it like on the leverages. You lower it down, take it off, and then it goes on the leverage that you see here on the sides, these ones, and then in the corner over there, and then it stands on the table foot. You drag this one out, and then you have a bed coming over here. Also in the front over here, these seats are turnable with a handle in the front. There is a red handle, that one, and you simply push it down, and then you can move the seat over. I'll show you. That's the way to do it. Turn them around like this. Everything else is normal here in the front, and you have these curtains blocking the front windows. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Hope you have a good time. Hope this will be a help. If you have any problems, you can give us a call. Thank you.